guys, we need to get caught up. So, yesterday we were talking about eclipses, solar versus lunar eclipses. So what I need you to do is go and get that activity, which is in your Unit 2 exosphere folder, and then the function and formation of other celestial bodies, and then you need to click on Eclipse Simulator Gizmo. I just want to remind you, let me back it on up. Right there is a Unit 2 test study guide. Do it. Just do it. All right. When you open it up, it'll look like this. And I'm not going to go over all these questions, and I do not expect you to do all the questions. I expect you to write down what I'm about to write down. So, we went through the beginning processes, right? We looked at how this golf ball would be like a solar eclipse because it's in between the sun and the moon. The ball from Earth's perspective would be blocking out the sun. The lunar eclipse is the Earth would be blocking out the moon. Okay, so if I scroll down a little bit, I just want to really quickly touch on night and day and what that looks like on our gizmo. So you can click on this top part and it will get you to this, which is remember you have to sign in. Wow, that sound is so loud. Oh, now you're working. Jeez. You guys know, my other speaker finally is pulling itself together. So let me think. What am I saying? Oh, when we look at the Earth here, half of the Earth is facing the sun, and you can see the Earth is turning, and when it, like America, so that's Russia. So Russia right now is in daytime because it has sunlight on it. We in the United States right here would be in nighttime because we're in the darker, on the other side, facing away from the sun. So I just want to point that out, and there's a question about that. So the part of the, or half of the Earth is in daylight, half of the Earth is in night, and that's because of the fact that just like a ball would be in a flashlight, the side facing the sun will have light on it. The side not facing the sun is going to have nighttime. Okay? That was a lot of words, but I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this. And you can too. Remember, Control, Shift, and then the box up at the top. I'm going to put this in here because I want to remind you that this is important. So this side, if I go like this side's having day. This is having night. So remember, if you forget how to take a screenshot, if you push Control, Shift, and then up at the top of your typey thing, there's a box with 2 lines behind it. You do Control, Shift, and that key, the box with 2 lines, and you can select what you want to copy. You copy it to your clipboard then, and then paste it in there. Okay, so that side's experiencing day, this side's experiencing night. I'm going to scroll down now. We already did this part, but I think you should highlight it because there's going to be questions on the lab check with this. So when we have sun, moon, earth, when we're trying to make a solar eclipse, you need the sun on one side, the moon has to be in the middle, and then earth. This is the order of a solar eclipse. And you can see that right here. Sun, moon, earth. Look at that. Solar eclipse. So cool. Okay. That is one part that you need to have. Okay, now you're going to go down and we're going to do this part, which we didn't do together yet. We're going to do a lunar eclipse. So we want the moon. So we're going to drag the moon over here. And you'll notice right here, it's almost a full moon. It goes into that penumbral part of the shadow, and you have a partial eclipse, and then it goes into the darkest part, the umbra, and we have a total solar eclipse. So the order here is sun, earth, and moon. Double click. So we have the sun. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Earth. I want you to be in line with the sun. How do I make that? There we go. And then the moon. Boom. Save. So that is the order that you're looking for. Okay. I want to really quickly show you what causes the moon to be darkened in a lunar eclipse. The moon is in the umbra of the earth. And remember, umbra, I'm going to add this, is the darkest part of a shadow. Boom. Okay, look at umbra versus penumbra. View of the sun. Okay, this is going to be a little bit confusing, but I actually took that part that I was just going over, which was down at number 12, and I put it actually up at number 8 because it has to do with solar eclipses, the question on your lab check, okay? So, in order to have a partial solar eclipse is created when the person looking at the sun is in the penumbra. All right, and I think I'm going to try and take a picture of this. Whoop. You just saw the lab question. You can pause and look it over if you want to. So if we are looking at, look at this. That's what you guys saw if you were in Pennsylvania back in the solar eclipse of 2014. No, 2016. Maybe 2016. No, 2017. I know the date. What a struggle, okay? And you'll notice if you are standing right here, you are viewing just the umbra, okay? So this is what it would look like if you are in the penumbra. So I'm going to take a screenshot. Remember, Control Shift and then the box up at the top with the 2 lines. And I'm going to put it in here. Boom. All right. A total solar eclipse is created when the person looking at the sun, so you're facing the sun, is in the umbra. So that will look like, and also, yeah. So I'm going to move this back. Boom. I'm going to take another screenshot because I like having these visible parts. Enter, and it's going to be helpful on your lab check if you have the actual drawings there. Okay, so we're doing a lot of Control Shift, and if you're still not sure what I'm talking about, screenshot on Chromebook. Let's look at the image. So your keyboard will look like this. Control Shift and that thing, and then you can take a screenshot of just the little part that you need. Okay. All right, so that's that part. We put that in order. Now we're going down here, and I'm going to explain how to do this. I actually answered it on my own just because I wanted to see what it looked like. delete, and I'm going to show you how to figure this out. So it wants you to take a screenshot of the moon at different stages in an eclipse. So the first thing is just a normal full moon. So we can't get like the best full moon because if you look like, all right, here's the moon not in Earth's shadow, here it is in the penumbra, and then here it is in the umbra. So we can't, a full moon would be right behind Earth. And if you look, we are not going to go to this one, but let me show you why we don't have eclipses all the time. Because the moon is at an angle. So here's the shadow, here's the shadow. The moon isn't always lined up. So like here you have sun, earth, moon. They're in the right order for a lunar eclipse, but it's not going to happen because it doesn't go in the shadow. If I play this, you'll see that it kind of goes up and down. So if this is the Earth, the orbit of the moon is kind of at a weird angle. Okay, so it doesn't always go into the shadow. Sometimes it's below it, sometimes it's above it. So only twice a year is it completely lined up. Okay. So anyway, that's why this is showing you it completely lined up every time, which isn't accurate. We don't get a lunar eclipse every time there's a full moon. So we're just going to take it out of the shadows and take a screenshot as best as we can of it at that location. So take a screenshot. Again, this is not a true full moon, but it's showing you how crisp white the full moon is when it's not in the shadow. All right, so just pretend that's completely a complete circle. All right, then you need to take a screenshot of when the moon is completely in the penumbra. So we'll go back, not to that one. We'll go back to this one. And remember, the penumbra is this lighter part of the shadow. I'll put it in there, and you'll notice it goes from a crisp white to like a grayish, a darker grayish. And this is when it's in penumbra. Let's take a screenshot, and we're going to put it in there. Boom. And here it's a light gray. All right, a partial lunar eclipse is when it's half in the penumbra and half in the umbra. So we're going to slide this over, and you'll see there's a huge difference between when it's in the penumbra and the umbra. The umbra is a much darker shadow. All right, so it's a light gray, and this looks red, but that's not accurate for a real life partial eclipse. It would be light gray and like a darker gray. Boom. All right, and then it wants it to be, it says total lunar eclipse, it's fully in the umbra. So we're going to slide this all the way into the umbra, take a screenshot of what the moon looks like, and you can see it's a little bit red, and that is accurate for when you have an actual total lunar eclipse, when it's in the umbra completely. So it will be a red color, which is crazy. All right. That's all you really need for the lab check. So once you have that, you can take the lab check if you want. I'll show you where it's at. So if you go into functions and formations of other celestial bodies, it will be right below the actual simulator. I don't have it activated right now, but it will be tomorrow. And yeah, you'll have questions that go over the things we just went over. So once you're done and you have this, you can submit this, and I will give you the grade for what you should have watched here. And then you need to do the lab check where you're using the things I just went over to answer the questions. There's 5 questions. That's it. All right. Have a great day.